There we go. All right. All right. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Silver Lining TV, where we motivate and inspire people to create a better life through real estate. And today, again, I am joined by my business partner, Fultz. My brother, how are you doing today?
Good, man. Just made it home. Sounds like we're gonna have some exciting weather here shortly.
I know. Good old Indiana. Good old Indiana. Uh, yeah. So, looks like there will be some people working from home again. It looks like so. I'm sure the grocery stores are like being raided right now. But yeah, so we wanted to come together and obviously our main goal each week is just to provide more valuable information to help you make better decisions. And we thought, what better time to talk about creative ways to win big in a low inventory market that like what we're currently in. So if you are a buyer or a seller, I'm sure you have experienced the challenges that comes with being in a low inventory market. So Scott, obviously being an expert in this area, because I know he's had a pretty powerful um, about 40 days to the year so far, helping a lot of clients secure homes, only on the sell and the buy side. So I think what better person to kind of break everything down. So Scott, go ahead and get it kicked off for us, man. What are some creative ways that you've been utilizing for your clients to help them win big?
It seems like, and I know we've had one of our favorite lenders talking with us lately about how it seems like more buyers are being pre-approved FHA, over conventional,
Yeah.
but more and more listings are going conventional or cash only. So that's what kind of has pushed us into a corner to kind of make us, step back and be creative. And so I know what I've been able to do. The renovation loan, the 203K loan that
Mm.
some of our loan officers are able to do. Those have been very powerful. It's kind of nice to be able to teach the other side, the listing side, kind of through the process too, because it's not a well known loan, I guess, for some agents, newer agents especially. But yeah, that has been powerful. And then just having buyers that could potentially cover some of those appraisal repair issues to take the seller off the hook, so they don't feel like they're going to be required to do that. So I've been able to write that into the purchase agreements lately that my FHA buyers are offering up to a certain level of covering repair, problems that might slow down the appraisal.
Gotcha. Now you said a lot there, Scotty.
I
So we're
talk.
gonna unpack that, okay? Because I want to make sure that everyone caught what you said. So we'll start on the 203K because I know you brought that up. The 203K loan is a renovation loan for everyone who doesn't know. So Scott, explain to them the benefits of having the 203K loan in their tool belt when they're out in this market.
Absolutely. The 203K loan is super powerful because it really eliminates any concern, any bad negotiation possibilities during inspection
Mm.
negotiations. Um, it allows for the buyer to address those repair issues during the renovation, during the rehab of the house. So the sellers really, they don't have to worry about paying for that or having to get it done in a very quick way to close it on time. That's
Mm.
all taken care of after the closing. After the seller gets their money, those repairs are taken care of later. So
Mm.
it can really, help them out.
Love it, love it. Thank you. And I want to go on the other end of the spectrum and talk about the seller side. Now, I won't touch on 203K, but I will touch on what the seller can do to win even bigger in this type of market. Because when you are a seller and you're putting your home on the market, I know we recommend to get a pre-inspection done. If you're willing to do it, I highly recommend to do it because when you know exactly what is wrong with the property you currently live in, and you may think you know your home, but trust me, an inspection is going to give you a whole new side of your home. I mean, there's a lot of things that we kind of get used to seeing that will stand out to a buyer. Okay, that is an issue. So the inspection will give you a clear view on what your current condition of the property is. Now, when you list your home, here's the benefit for you, seller. When you list your home and it's been inspected. In other words, kind of like a pre-certified, like a certified vehicle that you buy, a used certified vehicle, kind of the same thing. It allows the buyer to feel more confident when they offer on your home. Typically, the more confident the buyer is when they offer on your home, they may be a little more open to paying more for your home. Okay, so keep that in mind. So, as a seller, don't, if your agent hasn't brought up your about getting your home pre-inspected, you need to bring that up to your agent and talk about that process and how it can benefit you. Okay, so Scott, I'm gonna go ahead and let you pick up again. I just thought I would talk about the seller side of things and how, like, one thing they can do to improve their
Yeah.
odds on winning big.
Yeah, absolutely, because the inspection process is it can be tricky and everything, and sellers typically are in the driver's seat. You know, when it's a seller's market like this, they do feel empowered. You know, which is I think why a lot of them just go cash conventional only. That they don't have to worry about those inspection repairs. So, yeah,
Mhm.
if you can take care of those or at least be aware of them in advance, then that will strengthen the transaction on both sides for sure too. um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
You know what's crazy is I was thinking to myself this morning, are we really in a seller's market or are we in a buyer's market? Now, I don't want to cause confusion. I'm just being funny right now, but think about this. All right, walk with me. Buyer's market. Is it a buyer's market if the market continues to trend upward with appreciation rates? Let's say, for example, a buyer that bought 2 years ago, that same home is worth 30 to $45,000 more today. But back then they were saying it was a seller's market. Maybe it was a buyer's market.
It's a delay. Yeah. Today, when you sell your house, man, you're fantastic, you know.
Right.
2 years from now, after you bought it, you're fantastic. So
Yeah, it's like, dang, what kind of market are we really in these days? Now, listen, everyone, it is a seller's market because, like supply and demand, real estate is a supply and demand industry. We have extremely low inventory right now. The builders can't keep up. The builders won't be able to keep up. The builders won't be able to catch up. I honestly think over the next 10 years, it's going to be very interesting in a real estate market because uh, the demand is just too high right now, right? Anyways, that's another show. But just a thought that I had. So let's talk about this, Scotty. What is, because you mentioned something about an appraisal gap, I believe. So let's expound on that. What is the benefit, or really just break down what is an appraisal gap, and then what is the benefit for the seller and the buyer?
right. When I'm going through my buyer consultations, I always let the buyers know that it is very difficult to overpay for a house unless you really want to. An appraisal gap, you know, if I'm selling my house for $100,000, someone could come in and offer $1 million for my house. I'm not going to get it because it's not going to appraise for that. So what a lot of agents and buyers will do is to offer a set amount in cash above the appraisal. So I would write in there, man, if this house appraises for anything less than $1 million, I will pay up to $10,000 to get it up to there. So if it appraised for $120,000, we paid 10,000 more to get it to 110,000 from our original offer of 100. Um, it's just it's just more of a guaranteed amount that the seller will be able to get, um, and it gives them a little peace of mind because sometimes just accepting the highest offer isn't going to be the best offer in the end.
Love it. And I think that's where a lot of people, I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of sellers, they get caught up in accepting the highest price. And what we do, because we're trained on it, is we discuss further. It's not so surface level. Like, price is surface level. What about the terms and conditions? What about everything else, right?
Absolutely.
So,
I had buyers a couple weeks ago. We were going conventional loan and we beat two cash offers. Beating
mm,
one cash offer is nice,
yeah.
but we had learned that we beat two, and so that's powerful.
Say that one more time.
You always hear cash is king, and I was in a multiple offer situation with my buyers. We were going to finance it, and the other agent said, "Well, you are up against two cash offers. would you
Mm,
provide an appraisal gap? And my buyers wanted the property enough that we did offer an appraisal gap. So
mhm.
yeah, and we beat those two cash offers.
Love it. Now, the key takeaway from that is being creative, being clear, having all the information, and I'm talking from the perspective of the buyer. Okay. If you're a buyer and you're Scott's client, okay, you got to be clear on what it is you want in a home. Scott is good. He's great at helping you figure that out. You got to be clear on your financial situation. That is obviously your responsibility, but we also help make sure that we're clear on that too. And then utilizing the strategies available that we use every single day, figuring out what strategy works best for you in this particular situation. Okay. That is what your job is as a buyer when you're in today's market. You got to know those things because only someone who's extremely confident in their situation and confident in the home that they're offering on, meaning they really, really want it, will be able to make a confident decision in when it comes to appraisal gap negotiations, right? Otherwise, you're going to be hesitant. So you got to keep that in mind. Now, again, Scott is one of the best in the market, so he's going to make sure that you guys all figure that out. But you got to keep that in mind, buyers. Now, sellers, it's going to be important for your agent to break down again the terms and conditions, what could go right and what could go wrong when it comes to the appraisal gap, the inspection, and stuff like that. Okay. There are a lot of, again, creative things that you can do when it comes to negotiations to make it fit. But if your agent isn't taking the time to kind of break down those strategies and you're just looking at price, you're having a wrong discussion. You're talking about the wrong thing. I'm sorry. Well, Scotty, what I want to do is I want to be respectful of your time. I wish we could go longer because I know there's so much more to unpack. Um, but if do you have anything else to add before we close it out?
No, I don't think so. I mean, just know that we tend to start off with trying to find the easiest solution to solve a problem,
Mm,
but in this market, the beauty of our office, which I'd be in if the weather wasn't like this, the beauty of our office is we have so many amazing agents to bounce ideas off of and be creative and find these creative solutions. So I'm very grateful, to be surrounded by top agents in the business that can say, well, hey, have you thought about this? Or our lenders that we work with regularly, for them to say, well, have you thought about this? I mean, that's been a lifesaver for me in a couple, deals, or at least. So yeah,
yes.
just to know that sometimes we try to solve it the easiest way, but um, this market, we are getting more creative, and it's empowering. It's going to, really keep going, and our
Yeah.
clients are going to win.
And I would say I appreciate you breaking that down. I would say this because you said easy, that we try to find the easy way. It's really the very difficult way. There is no easy way in today's market. However, we make it look easy and we make it feel easy for you. So I just want to clarify that.
Yeah.
Now, because we don't have time, we got to get back on here, Scott, and talk about the creative ways to find great off-market opportunities
Mm.
in today's market. Because we didn't even touch on that. We didn't
Yeah,
touch on that. So we could go another 30 minutes. But again, we're going to keep this short. So Scott, can we get back on here soon and we can discuss what we can do, what we do every day to be creative, to find great deals for our clients?
absolutely. Yeah, that's fun. I like that talk.
Perfect, perfect. All right. Well, Scott, how can people reach you?
My number, attached to my hip, is 765-427-2982. Email scott@slreg.com.
Love it, love it. Well, Scotty, I appreciate your time today, man. I'm gonna end it like I always do, everyone. It's very important that you understand our goal is to always help you reach yours. Okay, you guys stay safe out there. If you're in Lafayette, Indiana, or the Indiana region, please be careful out there. We're supposed to get nasty. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.